It is Thursday, March 24th, 2022. Welcome to another edition of Baseball Today. That is the dancing fool over there, T. Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. Did you have a chance to watch Jimmy and Jake last night on Yes with Bob Lorenz and Jack? And it was pretty fun.
I watched the highlights. I got the social clips. I think the boys looked good. You could tell, like,
too good.
Like nothing surprises these guys anymore because we've kind of been through a lot. But I think getting on like the Yes set and doing that kind of like for real, like being associated with the brand is a full circle moment for them because obviously they're Yankee fans and, they love all those guys, Curry and Kay and Coney, all those guys. Like I don't know, man. I thought it was amazing and they looked good. And I was happy, very happy they did not go suit and tie. You go suit and tie, you're a sellout. No. They didn't go suit and tie though.
No, I mean, even for them, they were dressed up. I mean, I want to see like T-shirts and cargo shorts on those dudes. Although I have to say, I called Jake. I FaceTimed Jake afterward. I was like, dude, do you mind like doing something more than just going spread eagle for us?
Let him be him. That's what he does. You show him the junk off.
Wow. We got to know Jake pretty well last night.
Keeping it spicy, Yep.
Philly fans got to know Nick Castellanos during his introductory news conference, which was one of a kind. The dude is just going to fit in perfectly in Philly. Give a listen.
I mean, I've played over 1,000 big league games and I have 0 playoff wins. You know what I'm saying? So cool. Like, I've made money, I've hit homers, I've played on TV, but I haven't won no games that matter. You know what I'm saying? So I would like to do that.
How would you describe what that attitude is when you come to the plate in a big event?
I don't know. I think the best way to describe it is survival, right? Like, it's how I feed my family. I don't have a college degree. I hit baseballs.
Plouffe, in a game which is getting more analytical and numbers crunching by the hour, can swag and confidence be enough to end a playoff drought?
No. Swag and confidence alone mean absolutely nothing. Now, it's good to have those, but you have to be able to back them up. And I think, for a guy like Castellanos, obviously he's an incredible player and he does have the confidence. And if you go to a team that's maybe missing that, it can put you over the top. You need guys in there to pump, like pumping the gas. Like I kind of was one of those guys. I was always hyping guys up. The thing is, the Phillies don't need that. The Phillies have plenty of swag, plenty of confidence. I mean, go look at that lineup. This is a very confident group. So you still got to go do the thing. And I think he will put up the numbers. But if you're asking me if swag and confidence alone can put a team over the top, it can't. You got to go back it up. But I do think like adding a guy like that, like throughout the year, you're going to have some lulls and maybe Bryce isn't feeling great and he's not as swaggy or Rio Muto is going through a slump and he's not as swaggy. You got to have guys that pick you up throughout the season. It's very rare to have just one guy who can bring that energy every single day. So, adding guys like that is nice, but they're looking for Castellanos to, not be analytically driven, but go put up numbers.
Which you will.
And he will. Of course he will.
In that ballpark and with that lineup, we talked about it, top 5 or 6 is as good as anybody in baseball. Mm-hmm. They're going to mash. It's just the rest of the questions. Do they have enough pitching? I don't think so. Do they have enough defense? I definitely don't think so. All that sort of stuff. But as far as a perfect marriage, it's why at the beginning of this whole free agency, when I had the free agency draft, I thought Nick Castellanos was a perfect fit in Philly. I think they're going to love him. And I think he's going to have a great year. I just don't know if I haven't figured it out. We'll give our predictions a couple of days before the season starts. I don't know if it's going to be enough to claim one of those top 6 spots, but we'll see.
Yeah. Philly's going to love this guy because it's actual confidence. Sometimes that gets mixed up with false bravado, whatever. Yep. This is actual confidence. He's going to go. And if he struggles, he's going to say, dude, I suck right now. And if he's going well, he's going to pump everybody else up. Like he's accountable. Mm-hmm. Because he's good and is really confident in himself. And I mean, that's what they ask for in Philadelphia is just being accountable.
Another guy who doesn't lack confidence is Justin Verlander, who has been really solid so far in his 2 performances this spring, has yet to give up a run. He says, listen, I got to be sharper. I got to be better. But how shocked would you be if he returns to the old JV form at age 39?
not very shocked, to be honest with you, because he's kind of a one-of-a-kind dude. Shout out to Goochland High School in Goochland, Virginia. That's where he went to school. I got his baseball reference page up right now.
Nice.
Listening to him talk after his outing, it kind of sounds like a lot of guys who go through TJ. I talked to a bunch of them, including my own brother, about this. He says he feels fine physically, and he's just trying to sharpen his pitches now. And that'll come with time, especially with a guy like this, and mixing with, the modern day technology the pitchers have. He's going to get his finger pressure back. He's going to get his release point back. And I think he'll be able to come back and be his old self. The main thing is physically, he's feeling really good. And a guy that's as smart as he is, has been around the game as long as he has, and the kind of player he's been, like he's going to be fine. I think the Houston Astros fans can really expect him to come back and be, maybe not like peak Verlander, but like 85% Verlander, which is like, you'll take that
pretty damn good
any day. Yeah.
Well, listen, I don't question anything that goes on with pro athletes at age 39. We just watched Tom Brady at age 44 lead the league in passing yards and touchdowns, and he's coming back for more. Like, it's ridiculous what is going on. So Justin Verlander can certainly do it. It's hard to believe it. It's basically been 2 years since we've seen him pitch in a competitive game. But let's remember how good he was in 2019 when he won the Cy Young again, right? He led the league in innings pitched. He struck out 300. He had an ERA plus of 179, which was better than the year he won the MVP award. Not just the Cy Young, the MVP award. So he's still doing it. And so I'm not going to count him out. I just want to know real quickly, because you got to face him. You were in the same division with him when he was at the peak of his career. How ridiculous was it?
Nasty. He's one of the guys that just looks different. Tall, kind of whippy up there, kind of has like a little jerk in his delivery, like a little like weird pause with his leg. But he exposed me, man. He was one of the first guys to really go top zone on everybody. And he kind of rope-a-dope you. And we talk about this all the dang time facing him. First couple innings, 94, spotted. Third, fourth, fifth, 96. And then when he'd get into like the seventh or eighth inning, boom, he'd go 97, 98 for you. He had it in the tank. That's why I really believe in him, because he has this stamina still at this age, 39 years old. He's going to bring that. And man, he's just a different guy, because he had the fastball, all the breaking pitches, and he's just a smart pitcher too. Like, when I think of a guy who's a complete pitcher on the mound, can do it all. Verlander is one of the guys that comes straight to the forefront of my mind.
Plus, it's hard for you to concentrate because his forearms are so hairy that you kind of get lost in them.
Dude, hairy forearms, super tight pants, all those belt loops in Detroit. It's like, you don't even know what you're looking at.
Right.
And then he just blows 98 by you. Go back to the dugout and you just say, you know what? It's Verlander day.
Yeah. His pants are on so tight. Even Robbie Ray's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, come on, man. Can you get him a little baggy?
Here's another accolade we can add to Justin Verlander's baseball reference page. Fashionista. He started the tight pants thing. He got it back at least.
He did. My pants are all tight, but that's for a different reason. All right. According to John Heyman, he says, do not be shocked if both Sean Manaea and Frankie Montas are on the A's opening day roster. My question for you, both, one, or neither will still be wearing an Oakland A's uniform come June?
I think if they're on the opening day roster, which I believe at this point they probably will be, I think they'll both be there by June. Because the trade deadline is not until July. But I do believe both of them will be gone this year. And, the one thing that you can think about is Montas still has another year of control. Manaea doesn't. So I think Manaea is like 100% gone. Yeah. If Montas comes out and kind of struggles and isn't, like what he doesn't reproduce what he did last year, then maybe they hold on to him, because they're not going to trade someone just to trade someone, especially if they have another year of control and they're feeling like they're not getting total value out of him.
Wait a second. Stop. Did you just say the A's aren't going to trade somebody just to trade somebody? That's all they've been doing.
But they want to get as much value as they think they can get.
Okay,
so I think if he's
got rid of Matt
struggling
Olson, who had 2 years left of control, and they got a bag back for him. Pretty good. What we all think, at least, pretty good group.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Matt Chapman.
That's what I'm saying. Like if they're getting what they believe is like a top package, then yeah. But if Montas comes out and struggles a little bit, they'll say, you know what, let's take our chances in the offseason. Let's see, how he does next year. So I think he's the one that could stick this year. I think Manaea is 100% gone and good. I'm glad. I want both these guys gone. I want them on competing teams. But I think both will, if they start the season with the team, they'll both be there in June, and then July comes around, and I'm assuming both these guys are gone because I have Montas being good again.
I think Manaea is gone first. First of all, he's making close to $10 million. Only Elvis Andrus is making more on that roster, and you can't move Elvis Andrus unless you eat some money or attach a prospect, in my opinion. I think Montas gets traded right at the deadline for exactly the reason you're saying. He's got 2 years left to control, and so they're going to want to maximize the deal. If you're a team that wants to give up prospects, like we see pitchers move all the time with half a year left. Teams aren't giving up big packages for that. So I actually think Sean Manaea is going to go a little bit earlier so that Oakland can maximize the return. I think they're going to wait on Montas because teams are going to say, we'll get him for 2 pennant chases at the very least, and then it'll be easier for them to give up.
Yeah. I mean, I just wish that they kept this team together. Like every time I started to talk about the A's, I'm like, when I was there, they were talking about all these guys being the nucleus. And what they give them 2 years? You give them 2 years to do what? Like you need more time than that. You need to build around these guys. And instead, bam, everyone's gone. And, I just feel bad for the A's fans. We're talking about, hey, we might relocate the stadium. Boom, all your favorite players are gone. And they're kind of used to it by now. But dang, man, I wish it was a different story there.
You're talking about relocating the stadium to Las Vegas? That would suck for them.
Well, I mean, isn't that kind of what they're thinking up there? I mean,
yes.
I know they have the waterfront ballpark that they've been talking about for 15 years up there. Like, I think eventually, I hope they stay there because Oakland's a great town. They love their baseball there.
They do.
But you got to give them a better stadium than the Coliseum.
Oh, it's a joke.
And if you can't do that, then maybe you do just got to get them out of there.
It's a waste dump. Were you ever in there when the shit overflowed, literally?
Oh, yeah. I've been there.
Oh, my God. That is I cannot believe that's happening.
Yeah.
That's bad news. All right. Bad news for Michael Conforto. He still doesn't have a job. He is the top free agent still on the market. He's not even 30 years old yet. It's basically a game of musical chairs. We got to try and find a spot for him. Let's do that.
I've been struggling. I told you before the show, this is a tough question for me because you're looking around the league and you're seeing what's going on. Okay. Conforto, excellent player, but kind of coming off a down year, and he has the qualifying offer attached to him. Now that means different things for different teams. I kind of been going over the qualifying offer rules and like it started to hurt my brain. So I don't even really want to talk about that.
Wait a second. Is the qualifying offer still around? I thought we got rid of that.
I think it's here.
I thought we got rid of it.
Maybe for this next group, it's gone, depending on what they do with the international draft, right?
God,
the qualifying offer is already extended for these guys. He has a qualifying offer attached to him. Am I wrong about that? I don't think I'm wrong about that. Now you're confusing me, and now I'm even more in a pickle here. But I'll give you a team.
Okay.
Sound off in the chat if we don't know what the hell we're talking about. I'm pretty sure he has a qualifying offer attached to him. I think the Mets are a possibility, but I also believe the San Diego Padres could look to swoop in on a 1-year deal with him, let him reestablish his value, because I think that's kind of what he'd want after coming off a down year, and then he won't have a qualifying offer attached to him the following year. So maybe the Padres say, you know what, let's go try to get some more offense in our outfield, put this guy out there. Other than that, man, it's other teams that have been mentioned with him, like the Diamondbacks and kind of strange rebuilding teams like that. So it's been interesting to see where he's going to go, but I hope he finds a nice landing spot.
Well, I looked at San Diego as well. It makes sense because I think they still need more offensive pop, even though they did make the trade last week for Luke Voit. I thought that was a good, solid move. But they also have 3 contracts that they just don't love at all, right? It's Hosmer, Will Myers, and Jerkson Profar. And I don't know if you can move any of those guys without eating a substantial amount of money and or attaching prospects to the deal. So I just don't know if that's going to work in San Diego. It makes sense. I just don't know if the business sense makes sense. What hat am I wearing today, Plouffe?
That's a tiger hat.
That is a tiger hat.
Tiger's hat?
That is a Tiger's hat. Tigers, I don't care. It's the English D. That's all I care about. And I think he really fits there. I really do. You know, there were reports recently they made a huge play for Correa before the lockout. They ended up getting Javi Baez. They ended up spending money on a bunch of other guys. They just brought in Andrew Chafin for 2 years and $13 million. They traded for Tucker Barnhart, Erod, all that sort of stuff. Why not give this guy a 1-year deal, maybe an option on top of that? I know people are screaming and saying, well, hold on, Akil Baddoo is their center fielder. I could put Riley Green in center. Akil Baddoo has been a great story. If you want to move Robbie Grossman, who I understand has been kind of a glue guy for them, he doesn't make any money, he hit 23 homers a year ago. Maybe it's a little bit risky, but Conforto, he's still in his late 20s. To me, he's a way above average defender, and he gives that lineup good balance. And if the Tigers are going for a wild card spot at the very least, let's go.
It seems like there's always like one or two guys, maybe one guy that kind of gets left out of the whole free agent dance. You know, I saw it with my good buddy Mike Moustakas for a couple years. So I'm just hoping he finds something good for himself. I'm thinking it's probably going to be a 1-year deal. Go out there and bang, reestablish your value, and then go get paid next offseason where you won't have a qualifying offer attached to him. I am Googling it right now. I'm pretty sure he still does. Again, sound off in the chat. But yeah, I mean, he's too good of a player to be sitting there right now. That's what I believe.
So if he does still have the qualifying offer,
yeah,
I think after the draft, the qualifying offer goes away. Didn't that happen a few years ago with Drew? And there was one other
Drew,
guy.
yeah, I know. I think it does. And you know, I don't want to get too far into it, but like it's just a qualifying offer and what you have to give up depends on like what your payroll was in the previous season. Right. If you cross the tax threshold, where you finished, if you're a revenue sharing accepting team, all these different things. So it means different things to different teams. But you're right. He might be better served waiting. I hope that's not the case, but it might work out better for him.
All right. Last thing. We talked about this story a couple of weeks ago when it initially happened, that there was this Dodger fan at spring training who got Cody Bellinger's autograph on his arm. Just right. Got a little Sharpie there. And he said, if you do that, I promise to get a tattoo. And he sure did. The sidebar of the story was that he also got Matt Beatty, not as well a known Dodger, his autograph, and he got that signature tattooed on his arm. Well, Matt Beatty was just DFA'd. So now if you're that Dodger fan, do you have the tattoo of Matt Beatty's signature removed, or do you just wear it? Literally.
You wear it. This is what I know about tattoo people. Like I have a few tattoos. I kind of wish I'd never got a tattoo. But tattoo people, especially people that are willing to do stuff like this, they don't care what's on their body. They just love getting tattoos. So the guy's going to leave it. Maybe he covers it up a little bit, put some stuff around it. Hey, go, who did the Dodgers? Oh, Hanser Alberto, right? That's who they signed and designated him. Now he's got to go get his autograph on his arm and get that thing tatted up. He doesn't care. The guy's going to put some like skull and crossbones here, maybe like a heart with a mom over on this side. He's fine.
If you are a fan of a team, now listen, once again, I don't have any tattoos. My oldest son has like 7 of them. So I'm fine with tattoos. If you're going to do something with your favorite team, make sure it's somebody that they're going to put in the rafters. Like get Clayton Kershaw's autograph. Good. I'm not even so sure that Cody Bellinger is going to be a lifelong Dodger. Like he might hit the road
money
soon.
This year. My goodness.
Like go get, you know who you can get right now? Go get Justin Turner's autograph. Like he's nearish the end. He's closer to the end than the beginning. I don't think he's going anywhere else. You want to get, here's another one. Mookie Betts is probably going to be a Dodger for a long time. Let's not try and get the guys toward the end of the roster.
I think you're missing it. These tattoo people don't care. They don't care. They'll put anything on their body, dude. They just want it. They just like it. They like the sensation, which I don't like.
So you know what? Then here's the deal. We both live in Los Angeles. If this guy lives in LA and he happens to see either one of us at Dodger Stadium, why don't we do a signature on a part of his body and he can get that since he doesn't seemingly care?
I will sign your arm in Sharpie and so will Chris, and you can get those tatted up too. and then we can just keep going. Like we can do us, and then maybe Jake. No, you don't want Jake's. That's the one.
No.
I think that's where you draw the line. Is talking Jake should never be anywhere near your body. That's just
What
a
if he
general
wrote-
rule for people.
What if he signed it Jake sucks?
Nope.
Still no.
Now I'm out on Jake right now. You guys saw what happened on the blitzball games. They
Yeah.
took me out. My first public L in what seems forever.
That
I've been
cutter he
winning.
threw was nasty. It's a good cutter.
You said David Cohn taught him that. David, you know what, buddy? We're peers. You and Jake, I guess they're peers now too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
What is
exactly.
this
You're gonna
world
lose a
coming
lot of those
to?
battles.
Oh man.
All
Okay.
right, what
Well,
do you
he
have
needs
coming up?
Coney to help out.
What do you have coming up on John Boy?
TPPs are starting. We're going to record the first TPP today. We're doing the NL Central. We're kind of not doing individual ones. We will release them individually, but we're going to film one big episode and then kind of cut it down. So I got a lot of that going on. And then, yeah, regular Talking Baseball episode will be out tomorrow as well. So like just a lot of stuff with Talking Baseball. And then me and you do our thing every damn day now.
That's right. Monday through Friday. Latest episode of the Rose Rotation with the newest Kansas City Royal, Amir Garrett. Very honest. We released the clip about how he didn't understand what the Reds were doing, ripping apart the ball club. You know, at first he said it's above my pay grade. And I was like, dude, you've got emotions. He's like, yeah, I do. And then he goes, yeah, we thought we were pretty close a couple of years ago. We should have added a piece or two. Instead, they went the other direction. So, and speaking of wearing a Tigers hat, he talked about what is going to happen the first time he faces Javi Baez. Because once again, they are in the same division. They have not had a wonderful relationship. He spends a lot of time talking about that. And then there's a really important discussion about the responsibility of social media and having interaction with fans and how he dealt with not having a good year last year and how he got death threats and his wife too. And it got real.
Brutal.
It got very real. It was uncomfortable, but important uncomfortable. I think it's really critical for people to listen and to kind of take note of the responsibility we as fans have and holding up our end of the bargain too. Okay.
Love it. Some people need to hear that.
Yep. It's all coming your way. Special shout out to our producer for the day, that coffee drinking, mullet wearing, protein ingesting Dan Rourke.
No budget having Dan Rourke.
That's okay. We were all 21 once as well. And we will see you again on Friday for Baseball Today. For Trevor Plouffe, I'm Chris Rose. We'll see you soon, everybody.